video is to go over examples 8 and 9 together. We are going to be talking about how to get measures out of Stapplet. So I already took the liberty of typing this data in. So I'm going to take you to Stapplet right now. We are looking for measures of center and then answering some questions. So on Stapplet, here's my data. I have one quantitative variable, a single group. Okay, I typed in age in class. I assume this is the ages of people in a college class, and I typed in the data. I hit begin analysis. We can start out with any graph we want because we're going to look at shape a little bit, but the question doesn't focus on the graph. So the first part of this question in example 8 asks you about measures of center. So it asks you specifically about the mean and the median and the mode. So here's my data right here, and then you'll notice you get summary statistics down here at the bottom. So my mean is 23.75. That's the average age in the class. The median is 21.5. Okay, those are the two most popular measures of center. You also have the mode. The mode is the most popular. So if I look at this, it's obvious that 20 is the most popular item. That would be the mode. Okay. The next part of this question then asks you to talk about which measure of center would best describe the distribution. Because if I look at the shape here, okay, I'm seeing a distribution that is super right skewed, right? I got this outlier way, way out there. Okay, so because of that, I've got a right skew, and based on the behavior of the measures, what happens is this really large number, it pulls that mean higher than it should be. This is a really high average considering that most everybody is younger than this. So we have a better measure of center at 21.5. That's a better description of center. Okay, so when I have a distribution that's really skewed, I'd rather report the median. Okay, if I have a distribution that's really symmetric, then the mean is awesome. Now, example 9 goes on to talk about measures of spread. All right, you have standard deviation, which has been talked about and explained in a different video. This is the average amount of variability around the mean. Okay, you also have what's called the interquartile range, which is the difference between this third and this first quartile. So this is measures the first quarter of the data, the third quarter of the data. That would make my interquartile range a difference of 3. Again, since this distribution has a very right skewed shape, I'm more interested in the interquartile range than the standard deviation, because again, this value right here is going to make the standard deviation much larger than is typically true for variability. So I'd rather report an interquartile range of a difference of 3 than I would the standard deviation. Now, in addition to those measures, you can report range as a measure of spread. So range is the difference between the maximum and the minimum. So if I subtract 65, if I take 65 and subtract 20, that's a difference of 45. That's the range of my data. And the other video, again, talks about when you would most likely use range. We're very interested in all these measures every time we do summary statistics. So if you have a question that asks you for the variance is the standard deviation squared. So you can take this number right here and put it in your calculator and square it, and that will give you the variance. All right. Thanks for watching this video all about finding measures when we have quantitative data.